What is the significance of closing our eyes while praying to Lord Shiva in temples? Student, Rohan, 21, Delhi Maharaj Ji, whenever we go to a temple, especially a Shiva temple, we see people close their eyes during prayer or while offering water or bilva leaves. Why do we do that? Isn't God in front of us? Shouldn't we look at him instead? Shivanand Maharaj, Beta Rohan, that is a very sincere question, and one that many think about but few dare to ask. In truth, the practice of closing one's eyes while praying, especially before Bhagwan Shiva, is not about ignoring his divine form. It is about going inward, to meet him where he truly resides. Student, Ananya, 19, Pune. But Maharaj, isn't Lord Shiva in the idol before us? That's what we are there to see, isn't it? Shivanand Maharaj, yes, dear Ananya. The Murti, idol, in the temple is a physical symbol, sacred, no doubt, but a symbol, nonetheless. The Upanishads tell us that the divine is not limited to the form we see. That supreme truth from which speech returns, not being able to grasp it, nor the mind. In simple words, the Supreme cannot be fully known through the senses. That's why we shut our eyes, not to escape the world, but to enter the deeper one within. Student, Manav, 23, Lucknow. But then, why install idols at all? Why not just meditate? Shivanand Maharaj, wonderful question, Manav. Our sages were wise beyond measure. They gave us the Murti to aid those who need a tangible connection. It is the first step. But they also told us, through the Vedas, that the divine is both Saguna, with form, and Nirgun, formless. Closing the eyes is a gentle reminder that while the external is sacred, the internal is divine too. A great seer once said, the body is the temple, and the soul is the deity. By closing our eyes, we enter that inner sanctum. Student, Priya, 20, Chennai. Why specifically Lord Shiva? Why do we feel such stillness while praying to him with closed eyes? Shivanand Maharaj, Priya, now you are touching the heart of the matter. Shiva is meditation personified. He is called Mahadev, the god beyond all gods. Seated in stillness, he is shown with closed eyes, deeply immersed in the inner world. To connect with him truly, we must imitate his silence, his depth. He is not a deity of movement or ritual alone, he is the master of awareness, inner silence, and consciousness. That is why our ancestors taught us, to see Shiva, you must stop seeing the world. Not with the eyes, but with the soul must you look. Closing the eyes is a step in that spiritual direction. Student, Karan, 22, Indore. Does this have something to do with the mind too, Maharaj? Because even when I close my eyes, my mind wanders. Shivanand Maharaj, beautiful observation, Karan. When you close your eyes, you are not automatically spiritual. You must also bring your awareness inward. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of the inner journey. By withdrawing from the outer senses, a practice called pratyahara in yoga, we begin to purify our thoughts. Slowly, the wandering mind learns to become still, just as the Ganga becomes calm in the plains after the turbulence of the Himalayas. A saint once said, close your eyes, not to darkness, but to distraction. The act of shutting the eyelids is symbolic, it is a vow to see more clearly, not with the eyes, but with the soul's vision. Student, Ria, 18, Kolkata. Is it not enough to just believe in God? Why all these steps like eye closing, meditation, etc.? Shivanand Maharaj, belief is the seed, Beta. But experience is the tree. And action, sadhana, is the water and sun. When you close your eyes before Shiva, you begin to experience him, not as a story in the Puranas, but as a living presence in your breath, your thoughts, your awareness. Without silence, how will you hear his whisper? Without stillness, how will you feel his presence? The great poets of our land have written, that which cannot be spoken, is heard in silence. That which cannot be seen, reveals itself in darkness. Closing our eyes is not retreat, it is revelation. What is the significance of closing our eyes while praying to Lord Shiva in temples? Student, Arav, 22, Bengaluru. Maharaj Ji, in today's fast world, people are in a hurry, even in temples. They come, offer water to the shivling, ring the bell, and leave. Who has the time to close eyes and meditate deeply? Is that wrong? Shivanand Maharaj, Arav, what you said reflects today's reality. The world is indeed running. But tell me, when you speak to someone you love, do you not pause? Do you not give them your full attention, even if for a moment? God deserves at least that. You see, in the Kena Upanishad, it is said, that which the mind does not reach, but because of which the mind works, know that alone as Brahman. This teaches us that divinity is not in rushing around God, but in pausing before Him. Even a few seconds of heartfelt connection are more valuable than hours of mechanical rituals. Student, Meera, 20, Bhopal Maharaj Ji, is this why some saints say, look within, because God is not just in temples but also inside us? Shivanand Maharaj, absolutely, Meera. One of our ancient saints once said, you searched for the divine in hills, rivers, and temples, but forgot to look where He lives, in you. The moment you close your eyes in prayer, you honor this truth. It is an invitation to step inside the temple of your own heart. Lord Shiva, who resides in the cremation grounds, beyond boundaries, naked of ego, represents this very truth. God is not bound by forms. He is the presence that watches silently within you. That's why the act of eye closing is not small, it's a return to self. Student, Ishan, 21, Ahmedabad Maharaj Ji, does this practice of closing eyes appear in our scriptures? Or is it just a habit people developed over time? Shivanand Maharaj, Ishan, our Agamas, Shiva Puranas, and many Upanishads speak of Antardrishti, inner sight. There is a beautiful line, Shivam Shantam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma, Shiva is peace, beyond duality, and is the self. This is not a metaphor. It is a pointer. The third eye of Shiva is symbolic of this vision, not outer vision, but inner realization. In the Shvetashvatra Upanishad, the yogi is instructed to sit still, with senses controlled, and the mind turned inward. That, beta, is what you do when you close your eyes before Mahadev. Student, Anvi, 19, Hyderabad. But Maharaj Ji, sometimes when I close my eyes, I see only darkness. That scares me. What should I do? Shivanand Maharaj, dear Anvi, darkness is not your enemy. It is the space where light is born. Every great sage, every seeker has sat in that same darkness. But that darkness is not empty, it is pregnant with presence. One saint wrote, in that which you call darkness, the divine weaves its mystery. When you close your eyes and see only black, understand that you are just starting the journey. The stars come only when the sky turns dark. Keep sitting, keep watching, eventually, the Shiva in you will rise. Student, Dev, 24, Mumbai Maharaj Ji, so you are saying this small act of closing the eyes is actually the start of something big? Shivanand Maharaj, yes, Dev. It is the most humble doorway to the most majestic palace. It is the beginning of self-discovery. You close your eyes to disconnect from the world and reconnect with yourself. In one ancient verse, the wise one prays not for riches, not even salvation, but says, O Shiva, let me not forget you in the noise of the world. Help me remember you in the silence within. That silence begins the moment your eyes close, not in fear or formality, but in love and longing. What is the significance of closing our eyes while praying to Lord Shiva in temples? Student, Riya, 22, Delhi Maharaj Ji, if closing our eyes leads us to inner silence, why is there so much noise in temples, bells ringing, mantras playing loudly, people talking? Isn't it contradictory to the idea of inward focus? Shivanand Maharaj, very perceptive question, Riya. The sounds in temples are not distractions, they are designed to pull your scattered senses inward. Let me explain. The bell, or ghanta, is not just a ritual object. When you ring it, it produces a sound that resonates around 528 Hz, a frequency that aligns the mind into a focused state. Similarly, chanting mantras helps still the restless thoughts by giving the mind a rhythm, a spiritual anchor. In the ancient temples of South India, the architecture was designed to guide sound inwards. The sound would bounce off the stone and travel deep into the sanctum, wrapping the devotee in a cocoon of sacred vibration. It's an invitation, come inside. Leave the world behind. But once you stand before Shiva and bow your head, you must go silent. And the first act of silence begins with closing your eyes. Student, Samar, 20, Lucknow Maharaj Ji, is there a spiritual difference between looking at the shivling with open eyes versus closing our eyes? Shivanand Maharaj, yes, Samar. When you look at the shivling with open eyes, you are connecting with the symbol of the formless. But when you close your eyes, you are trying to connect with the formless itself. This is why our seers taught us that darshan, sacred sight, is not complete until it merges into dhyana, meditation. One without the other is like seeing a flame but feeling no warmth. One saint once said, the eyes see the stone, but the soul sees the silence behind it. That silence is Mahadev. Closing your eyes helps you dissolve the visible and awaken the invisible. Student, Divya, 23, Pune Maharaj Ji, why is this practice so focused on Shiva? Why not other deities? Shivanand Maharaj, good question, Divya. Every deity in Sanatan Dharma represents a different aspect of the cosmic whole. But Shiva, more than anyone, embodies stillness. He is Dakshinamurti, the silent teacher, who transmits the ultimate knowledge not through words but through Mauna, silence. Even in the Shiva Purana, it is said, Shiva is the witness, untouched by the world, dwelling in the cave of the heart. This cave is not physical, it is the inner space where your mind meets your soul. And to enter that cave, one must shut the door of the senses, that begins with the eyes. Student, Ayan, 18, Patna. So Maharaj Ji, should we always pray with closed eyes? Or can we pray with open eyes too? Shivanand Maharaj, Ayan, both are paths. There is no strict rule. But understand their purpose. Open eyes connect you to the outer deity. Closed eyes connect you to the inner divinity. When love matures, it no longer needs form. When prayer deepens, it becomes presence. At first, we need idols and temples, rituals and chants. But slowly, like a child outgrowing a cradle, the soul seeks direct union. And this union begins in silence, with eyes closed. Student, Sneha, 21, Ujjain Maharaj Ji, in one sentence, what happens when I close my eyes before Shiva? Shivanand Maharaj, you stop seeing the world and start seeing yourself. And when you truly see yourself, you will realize, you were never apart from Shiva to begin with. The story, the silence within. Setting, present-day Mumbai, in a bustling college campus. Characters. Times Ishan, 21, a bright engineering student, curious but restless. Times Dr. Vaidya, a visiting professor of Indian philosophy. Times a forgotten temple of Shiva on a quiet hilltop behind the college. The story. Ishan was the kind of youth every parent was proud of, sharp-minded, digitally fluent, and hungry for success. But deep within, he often felt hollow. Between coding assignments and Instagram reels, he had questions no screen could answer. One day, he attended a guest lecture by Dr. Vaidya, an elderly man with kind eyes and an unusual calmness. The topic was the role of silence in Sanatan Dharma. Something about his words stirred Ishan. After class, he walked up and asked, Sir, why do people close their eyes when they pray? Isn't God right there in the idol? Dr. Vaidya smiled and said, Come with me tomorrow at Sunrise. I'll show you something. The next morning, Ishan found himself walking behind the professor up a steep path to a forgotten hilltop temple, crumbling stone, moss-covered walls, and a lonely shivling inside. They sat in silence for a while. Birds chirped. The city noise felt far away. Dr. Vaidya finally said, Close your eyes. Don't chant. Don't think. Just listen. Ishan resisted. But slowly, he gave in. His breath steadied. Time blurred. He saw no visions. Heard no voices. But something shifted. After some time, Dr. Vaidya whispered, What did you feel? Ishan opened his eyes and replied, "It felt like I met myself." Dr. Vaidya smiled again. "That's why we close our eyes before Shiva. Because he's not in the stone. He's in the stillness you just touched." Moral of the story. We close our eyes not to escape the world but to enter the real one, the inner realm, where Shiva resides as stillness, awareness, and truth. Just as Vedic rishis meditated in forests and Upanishadic seers discovered the self in silence, today's youth too can find the same Shiva, not in temples alone, but in moments of inner stillness. The story reflects the teaching of an Upanishadic verse, Yat pashyati na chakshusha, manseva pashyati, he who is seen not by the eyes, but by the inner mind.